Hi, I'm Norman Perillo, a furniture designer maker at Perillo Design and a woodworking educator author at WoodSkills. And today I'd like to talk about a new portable tool case I'll be building over the next week or two. So I'll show you an upcoming image of the actual tool case, and it's a tool case that originates from a Young Chan design. I had taken a furniture-related course with Young Chan about exactly 20 years ago at a furniture making school, a local furniture making school, and I was completely in awe of this portable tool case he brought along from San Francisco, and he traveled with it to teach and had the tools he used the most in his hand tool woodworking. Hand planes, saws, chisels mostly, and some measuring and layout tools. So I was in awe of it, and I told myself I'd like to perhaps build one day, and that time has come. I'm going to be going through all the steps in my build, twin steps on building it, and I'll show the first part of the possibly three-part series. And I'll be talking about how I laid out the tools and how it's critical to lay out the tools for your own, the tools you have in your own hand tool woodworking, your own chisels, saws, because they all come with different lengths. Some handsaw lengths and chisel lengths have been standardized, but some manufacturers don't follow any conventions, so they have longer ones or shorter ones. It depends on what you use. I'm going to be using this portable tool case when I travel and give woodworking demonstrations and teach woodworking techniques, hand tool oriented woodworking techniques. I've assembled most of the tools that I'll be using. I'll have a couple of jigs to bring along too, but these are all the tools, the important tools that I use in my hand tool woodworking. So it's going to be an interesting build, and something I've wanted to build for almost 2 decades now. This is a book, one of Young Chan's, I think, his only books. So I actually have a signed copy here from that very same class in 2004 in Almont, Ontario, Canada, and it's something to Norman. I hope you like the idea of my book. Enjoy woodworking. Good luck with your tools. I appreciate coming to my class. So that's interesting. Now, what I did at the time is I took some rough dimensions of the exterior dimensions of the case, the depth, the two sides, the depth on both sides because they're actually different, the width and the length of it, but I had not taken some of the inner compartment dimensions of the dividers, but not everything. So I'm working by eye at the moment. I'm basing everything on a photograph or two and what I remember of the tool case. But the photograph is sufficient enough for me to work with, along with the dimensions I've just described. So it's going to be exciting for me. You'll see in the first part of this video that I already have everything laid out, and it's taken me almost a day or two to lay everything out to what I prefer in a layout. And it's also similarly based to what he had in his own portable tool case. I'll have some concerns about the weight, but I think he addressed it by making it structurally strong by using glues where you normally don't use glues. So I'm going to be implementing that criteria in the build. Along with that, it's mostly hand tools in there and layout tools. The second or third video we'll delve into the actual build itself after I've broken the wood down from a plank down to usable pieces, and I can work with the pieces, dimension them correctly, and create the exterior frame for the two sides of the portable tool case, and also start working on the dividers. So it's very critical that I get the dimensions right. I made the not very shallow drawer and fitted it and reinforced it with some keys or slip feathers in the upper part, and this bottom panel is glued in, so that reinforces a considerable amount of it. So it's quite deep and shallow, but it's sufficient enough to hold pencils and rulers and that sort of thing. And it's a compartment, so nothing will fall out. I've thought about creating another compartment up here, but I think I'll leave that alone for now. And I've also created this compartment that I need to attach for some other tools. And so this will probably be the only sliding drawer compartment in the bottom part of the case. So it's quite a snug fit. The little design criteria I had was because it's flush with the the drawer front or the compartment front is flush, almost flush with the frame. I needed something very not deep at all, because there are going to be some Baltic birch panels here. So I've decided on some leather, and I might double this up now. So it's just a leather handle. And it should be easier to pull out once it's horizontal. But this is almost the final version. I've also created this insert divider here between the two Japanese planes. So that's the final, almost the final version of the bottom part of the case. So I'm actually working on a stand now, and I'll show that next. But this was quite interesting. It's a very delicate drawer. It's just under 1/4 inch thick for all the parts, and it's substantially strong. It's not going to hold much. So please subscribe to my YouTube woodworking channel, where I share more of my woodworking techniques, my woodworking philosophy, my thoughts on woodworking, and all the challenges I've experienced. And I introduce some of the new forms of woodworking I've discovered. And also visit woodskills.com, where I have a good selection of my books, both in print and digital format, on woodworking, and all my online courses, and I also offer some woodworking plans. I have maintained a regular blog on what I've got going on in my workshop and in woodworking in general. So enjoy.